Hi everyone, Hot Rod Matty here. Firstly, thanks everyone who took an interest in this HT GTS recovery, rescue, whatever you want to call the project. And thanks to everyone who said it was a pile of crap and it couldn't be done. So let's see how we get on. So obviously every trip out here, I don't get much time with it, but I try and do a little bit of work. And what I've tried to do this trip and what I'm just trying to finish off is getting through the layers of the paint. And so there's a baby blue, and underneath that there's, I wouldn't call it a beige, but it's kind of a creamy color. And then you get to the original factory Wimbledon white, and then there's the rust proofing. So getting through that, and I've done that with paint stripper because everything is quite thick. So those layers, the paint stripper helped me get down to a lot closer to the bare metal. And then you can see on this portion of the roof, I've actually hit it with the Eastwood SCT, and that's fantastic for getting down to the white metal. But it does chew through the wheel, and I've only brought one wheel with me, so I had to conserve it a little bit. But here I start to get to see, are all the evils visible, or is there more kind of underneath? And I think it's been sitting out in the elements enough where I'm not really getting many surprises. Everything I know that's bad is bad, that's fine, but then it's pretty decent metal underneath. There is plenty of filler, I will say that. So there is going to be some panel beating for it, and you can see, I don't know, maybe a screwdriver, something like that. But it is what it is, yeah. And this is all patch panel cut out, and it was actually put onto my HT GTS by the previous owners. So funny how these things all kind of come back together. So that's kind of that progress. And then if you have a look at the engine bay, I did start to do the same thing, SCT and hand sand with sandpaper, and get in there with paint stripper and start to work away at the engine bay panels. And it is pretty good metal. Some sections where the SCT would kind of reach on the firewall, I've tried to get to as well, but that's probably the next trip's work. And then this front radiator support panel on both sides, getting in there. And you can see the diameter of the SCT wheel gets you can't get into these corners unless you start to push in and manipulate the shape of the wheel, which you can do a little bit, and I did do around this area, but then it starts to work against you because you get an uneven wear on the wheel itself. So that'll have to do next time. And then you go back there as well. And so the purpose of doing this is, and as you can see, that black stuff is I want to find out how much is good metal and how much isn't. Do some of the basic panel beating myself, but then because this car is temporarily stuck out here in the open, a lot of reasons why, but it won't be permanently, and then actually rust proof it, and then I can get in there and do a coat like what's been done on the other side on the last trip. So a coat of kind of black paint just to seal everything in, ready for the next time around. Now funnily enough, I hope this is going to work, but there was a more appropriate rust converter, but the place kept telling me for about a week that it was coming tomorrow, and it didn't. So this is the only thing that's available, which is probably more suited to iron, more construction use, but I'm going anyway. So that's where the stain comes in. So I'll put that on, let it rest for about 6 hours, and then I'll put my my paint on and go from there. So apart from that, I did bring over some hardware from Rare Spares. So all the correct nuts and bolts and washers and things to get the hinges in place. There is a hood, but I'm just getting that kind of straightened out for the moment because someone tried to do some cool panel work and put a cowl hood onto it off the original metal, so I'm trying to uncool that cool work. And then I did bring some engine mounts and tranny mounts because the original motor managed to recover that. Not sure if I mentioned it the last time, but if I can get that all in place, and then I start to work out what I do have and don't have with me and what I can start looking for. So carburetor, for example, I haven't been able to find that yet. Let's see how we go. The front buckets are the ones that tilt forward, so pretty happy about that. They're the nice ones. You can see some of the dodgy work that, I don't know, that's like a house switch or something. And I don't know, ejector seat, something like that. So I don't think all of that is factory. So I've got to get in there and work that out. The floors are a mess. They'll all come out. And I think the rest is really just around the windows is terrible, front and back. Apart from that, it's kind of, I don't want to say run-of-the-mill rescue work, because rescue work's pretty tough, but anyone who's gone and separated the exterior panels from the interior skeleton will know that what's ahead of me. So let's see, this will probably be the biggest rescue that I've done, but not the only rescue I've done. So as always, I'm pretty optimistic it'll come out nice. So it's Wimbledon white, black stripes, the maroon interior, I can't remember what it's called, the 186S, and the 4-speed manual. The other options I'm not sure. I'll have to go through a box of spares that I've managed to find and see what is there and isn't. But anyway, this is the progress, and we'll just keep chipping away at it. So leave your suggestions. If you want to give me a hard time about it, fair enough. Give me a hard time about it, is what it is. But you can't blame someone for trying. So anyway, that's the progress so far on Le HT GTS Le Outback Rescue.